Hello everyone, welcome to Reading Comprehension. Today our objective is we will be able to describe characters and give textual evidence to support using self-monitoring. What is a character? It is a person who is doing something in a story. Sometimes animals can also play the role of a person in a story. Textual evidence. These are all facts from this text of the story. Self-monitoring. Here we read and find by myself if I can make sense of what I am reading. We will do this in more detail through the video. So why are we learning this? We have people all around us. By learning to describe characters, we will be able to learn more about people. So when we are doing this, we will be having some values. So we will be connecting some C's. So the C's we will be connecting today is critical thinking, because we would be using our brains. The story we are going to read today is called Peace and Harmony. I am going to read the first paragraph of the story and I will show you how to do our objective. So the first part is the self-monitoring. Here, when I am reading the story, I will try to make sense of what I am reading. Once upon a time, in a very thick forest, there lived many animals, birds, snakes, and insects. They all lived together happily. They roamed about the jungle and played together in the open fields without any fear. The peacocks were very proud of their dances, but admired the melodious songs of the cuckoos. The elephants enjoyed watching the fish swimming in the pool. The pythons, which were blessed with long bodies, spoke well of the fine fur of the flat-footed rabbits. The tiny ants, which were always busy, tickled the dark buffaloes. So when I read this, I can make some sense of the story. I can understand that probably it is about some forest and there are lots of animals and the animals are doing something. So I will read the story again and try to find out what exactly the animals are doing. Once upon a time, in a very thick forest, there lived many animals. So I stop at the word thick forest and I write it down. And I think, okay, the thick forest, I think means that a forest has many trees. Because this is the word I was having a little difficulty understanding, so I guessed it. I continue reading. They all lived together happily, which is fine, I can understand that. They roamed about the jungle and played together in the open fields without any fear. I can also understand this line. The peacocks were very proud of their dances. And I think, yes, I have seen the peacocks dancing. So yes, I can understand this part. But admired the melodious songs of the cuckoos. So I'm struggling with the word melodious. So I read the sentence again. The peacocks were very proud of their dances, but admired. I know admired means like they're praising. So the peacocks are praising something. What are they praising? The melodious songs of the cuckoos. So the cuckoos I know sing very well. So if they are describing a song as melodious, I think melodious means a song with a beautiful tune. So I write down the word melodious and write down the word song with a beautiful tune. And the sentence now makes sense. I continue reading. The elephants enjoyed watching the fish swimming in the pool. Yes, I understand that. The pythons, which were blessed with long bodies, of course, pythons are snakes and they have got very long bodies, spoke well of the fine fur of the flat-footed rabbits. Okay, we are talking about rabbits here, and the rabbits have got their foot is flat. Yes, I have seen rabbit footprints and they are flat, and they have a fine fur. So what does spoke well mean? So if I read the sentence again, the pythons which were blessed with long bodies spoke well of the fine fur of the flat-footed rabbits. So the pythons are saying something nice about the flat-footed rabbits, isn't it? So I think the spoke well means is they're talking good about someone. Yes, that makes sense. And I will continue reading. The tiny ants, which were always busy, tickled the dark buffaloes. I think I have heard the word tickle somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. but they're talking about tiny ants. So I think, what happens when an ant walks on me? Ah, that is where I have heard the word tickle. So I can now understand what the word tickle means. So now I have reading the text, and I have also identified some of the words and guessed them, and I have kept reading. So after self-monitoring, this is what I was doing. I can understand that the text is about some animals in a thick forest. I can also understand what each of the animals are doing. So now I can continue reading. So one point what we have to note here is, you have seen that I was guessing all the words when I was self-monitoring, so that I could continue with the reading. However, after we finish reading, we should always check the dictionary to find the actual meaning of the words. We can correct ourselves if we are wrong. The next part of our objective is to find characters and try to understand them. I will show you how we are doing it. So this is the first paragraph of the story, and I will continue reading. Once upon a time, in a very thick forest, there lived many animals, birds, snakes, and insects. Okay, so we are talking about a lot of animals here. But the animals are not doing anything. They are just saying that the animals live in the forest. So I don't think there are any characters here. I will move on. They all lived happily together. They roamed about the jungle and played together in the open fields without any fear. Well, I think the animals are doing something. So they are characters. Okay, I'll come back to that. The peacocks were very proud of their dances, but admired the melodious songs of the cuckoos. So here I can see that the peacock definitely is doing something. So the peacock is a character. So I write down the peacocks. And what is the peacock doing? The peacock admired the melodious songs of the cuckoos. So I pick it up from the text and write it down. I continue reading. The elephants enjoyed watching the fish swimming in the pool. So the elephants are also doing something. So the elephants are a character. And what are they doing? They enjoyed watching the fish in the pool. The pythons, which were blessed with long bodies, spoke well of the fine fur of the flat-footed rabbits. So of course the pythons are also doing something. So they are also a character. And what are they doing? They spoke well of the rabbits. And finally, the tiny ants, which were always busy, tickle the dark buffaloes. So the ants are also doing something. So the tiny ants are also a character which tickled the buffaloes. So after I have written down all of this, I just go through what the peacocks are doing, and the elephants are doing, and the pythons are doing, and the ants are doing. And I think that all of them are being very friendly. So that is how I am describing all the characters. I think all the characters are very friendly. So what have we done here? We have first identified all the characters. Then we have gathered textual evidence. We have listed down the characters and I have gathered facts from the text. And then finally, I have read the text and I have found out how I am describing the character. Okay? So our objective today was, we will be able to describe characters and give textual evidence to support using self-monitoring. So I have showed you how to self-monitor, to identify and describe characters, and to use textual evidence. What you are going to do now is, you will continue reading the text and do the following. You will self-monitor to understand the meaning of what you are reading. Then you will list down all the characters and note what they are doing. I will share the text in the WhatsApp group.